Hey guys, today we have this 2017 Toyota Tacoma. It's the TRD Pro, and we're gonna be doing a timing chain cover gasket replacement. And this one having an oil leak on that area, and they're very common for these trucks and even on some other Toyota cars. All right, let's go check it out. Let's get to it. All right, so this one is the V6 engine. Let me see. What size engine is it? I think it's a 3.5 liter. Yeah, there you go. Right there. 3.5 liter. And if you look on top, there's no leak. Valve cover has no leak. Driver's side doesn't really show much leak. But on the passenger side, you'll see some leak. Let's go. Go underneath. There you go. Let me flash some light there. And over here, so you can see there's plenty of leak over there. There you go. So leak there, leak on that line. It's really coming from the side. The more I shine the light, you'll see it. So those are the leak on the passenger side, and then it's more back there. So this is very common. So let's go ahead. There you go. See that? Those are the leak. It's coming from the timing chain cover. All right, so we're going to be removing a lot of stuff here. Let's go ahead, remove everything from here to the top, and radiator. Let's remove the coolant right now, so we can disconnect everything here. Okay, with this particular truck, first I'm going to drain the coolant because I have these in a way. I'm not gonna move that yet, but as long as I can access that coolant drain plug right here, and I put a hose on the bucket. So I'm gonna go ahead and open that. Slowly, let's open that. Oh, okay. Pink cool. Oh, not my light. Okay. So let's drain it. While it's draining, I'm gonna go ahead and remove everything from the top. Let's open the radiator cap so make that coolant drain faster. All right. Check it out. There you go. I got a clean bucket so I can reuse it. Then let's go ahead and remove everything that we can remove from the top. All right, let's get started. We're gonna remove everything from the top, including the valve covers, the manifold, intake manifold. All this has to remove because that's attached to our timing chain cover. And once we remove that, we're gonna remove the radiator, the fan, and the belt, um, water pump. We're gonna remove all that to give some space. While doing that, we're still draining. So you can see it's kind of almost done, but I'm gonna leave it there. Pretty sure there's still some more later. All right, let's get to it. All right, guys. Now let's go ahead and remove everything what we have here. But first, make sure we got the light on. That's my setup. I have this installed here for the struts mount, so it doesn't drop on us while we're working on. So let's remove these. Cover. Just put it aside. Make sure you don't lose that. And let's go ahead. I would disconnect this right here for with this map sensor. This car has a bunch of aftermarket installed here. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove these two. All right. Disconnect that. Let's go ahead and disconnect this hose. I'll go ahead see if I can disconnect the whole piece here. Go ahead disconnect this air box so I can pull this out, and then I can disconnect this one too. All the wirings we need to be removed. Go. So this will come out, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove the intake manifold there so we can get access to that. All right, to remove this intake, we have a couple bolts here, nuts here. That's 10 millimeter, and a torque T40. This is T40, 1, 2, 3, and there's one more in the middle right here. And of course, we disconnected this, and I got it disconnected. This wire here, and I got this disconnected, a hose, and we have a couple of bolts here, the brackets, 1, 2 right here, and 3 right there. And I had this, take it out and attach that, same as this one, remove that one. What else we have? I did also disconnect this part here. It's just that tab, and that should come out. So now we can remove all these. Make sure we don't drop it. Let's see. We got one more. Let's see if I can get down. Let me see if it moves. Yeah, it's moving. Probably have one more back. Yeah, there's one more T40 back there. So let's remove that, and we'll see if that's all we need to remove it. All right, we got one more here. What's holding it? This piece here, a hose, and backside is another hose down here. This one, and that should come out. Let's see. Let's see. There's another one. There's another one. Oh, okay. Back. You can see back here. There's another connector, wire connector. Let me just see if I can plug it right now. Right here. Okay. Okay, that should be it, and that should come out. Let me see. Oh, it's one more. Another hose down here. That's why we gotta be gentle when you're pulling this out. Especially if it's your first time working on this truck or any cars. So It should come out. All right, I believe that should come out. All right, there you go. Let's go ahead and check. So we have a hose line here, and this hose come out, and that's all your torque screw for the manifold, for the intake. You have hose here, bracket here, and bracket here, and the bracket here, and this is the plug that on the back side that you need to remove. And that's the other one, the hose that connected here. And that should take out the intake. And now what we're gonna do is, I was just trying to clean that one and tape it. Tape this so nothing will fall inside. Well, before we take it, let's go check what it look like. Not too bad. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, just wipe this one, clean it. Then I'm gonna put a tape so nothing falls through it. And this nuts, I'm gonna put it back where it belongs so I won't lose it. It's up to you how you're gonna organize yourself. Put it in a bag and put a name on it. All right, I want to go ahead remove this intake because it's in the way. It's pretty big size. You might have a different setup because this is an aftermarket. You might have an OEM, but that one has a 1, 2, 3 10 millimeter bolts there, and just a couple of screws in the cover. So look at that. Look at that. It's so open. I can put my tools here. So okay. Now we can go ahead disconnect all these wires, all the connectors we have, so we can go ahead access here. That I can go ahead and remove the radiator. Yeah, but I think I'm going to start to remove those wires. Just have to remove these valve covers. Move all this. Either way, I'm going to replace the spark plugs on these and some more access here. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the passenger side. Disconnect these. Disconnect that wire. Disconnect these wires here, and some down here. I'm just gonna remove. See these big wires here? Whatever is connected, I'm gonna disconnect it, and we'll see if, and all the brackets, that bracket there, so I can just like kind of like move that in a way on this side, and be easier for me to put it back like this. Remove that, disconnect here, and for the coil packs, remove all that. All right, so I just disconnect the whatever connected to the timing chain cover, front side. So my plan is just leave the valve cover just high enough so I can pry it in this side. See if I can do that. I'm gonna do the same thing with the driver side. Disconnect all these wires here, move the wires back, and I'm just gonna lift it, the valve cover, just to get access here to the front side. All right, now I'm going to remove this cover shroud for the radiator, and remove this reservoir, remove that so I can access and remove this fan clutch. All right, so that one just have a couple clips. That should come out pretty easy. Set that aside, and we'll see what's next. You can go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this hose so I can move these out. Let's see. Yeah, they have a couple bolts here. One and Another one here. I'm pretty sure they should come up pretty easy. Alright, so I want to go ahead, loosen those. This nuts here for the fan clutch. This is a size 10. So remove all those four, and then they should come out together with this cover here. Those nuts are size 12, by the way. Not sure if I'd say 10, but once you get that out, that's it. Let's see if we can pull it out on the side. Let me see. Let me just drop it here for now, because once I pull this out, it should come out together. Let me get this removed. All right. So once we have removed the bolts here on the side, we have the fan clutch out. This should come out together. There you go. Let's see. You kind of gotta work it out left and right. Make sure. There you go. Then that's gonna come out together. Let's see. Don't drop your fan clutch. That's heavy. Let me see. And then move the other side. Let's see. I think I have pinching. I can remove this fan clutch by itself. So I can feel my other hand. Alright. I'll set this aside. And then we'll go ahead, remove this piece slowly. If nothing else is catching. Okay, this just a clip here for your power steering, for your transmission line, and that's it. And this one, I'll show you this one. This is what's catching it right now. I'll just remove that, and then now it's out. It's that's what I'm gonna put that in the side. So those are good. Now we are free, really open right now. We still have a lot to remove. This stuff here, one by one, we're gonna remove them so we can access to the timing chain cover. Okay, let's get a quick recap. So these are the cover. That's the timing chain cover, and this one. So we still have to remove this here. That look like for your coolant, like a housing, and this one look like a, what is this, a thermostat housing. We have to remove that, and I would, couple bolts here. I would remove this bracket here, and then yeah, this one goes to like this line here goes to your heater core, I believe. So you can see coolant goes there. So once we remove this housing here, we'll couple bolts back there. We can put that in the side. Another bracket down here. So we'll start from the top side, remove things here, and then later on we're gonna go ahead and remove the belt and all those pulleys. So you can see that's the oil leak that we have. You can really see it. This is the oil leak. All right, let's continue. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this dipstick. Get that set aside, and remove the bolts for that, and that should come out too. Let's see. If it doesn't come out, you just put it in the side. There you go. Should come out. Yeah. At least we get that inside. And pull that out. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the, let's see, the bracket for this heater core hoses right here. One down here and one down here. All right, so I'm about to remove these hoses here. This hose couple here so I can remove these, and a couple of hoses here. Once these are out, one, two, three, four, five, four clamps for the hoses, and once it's out, I can see more here, more clear. All right, so those hoses are out for this one here. Let me go ahead and remove this nut. Actually, it's a bolt. I hold here, so one down here, I hold on this side. This is size 12. Okay. Might have some water, coolant to come out here, so be, be careful with that. We'll drop the bolt. Let's see. And all of these, we'll be replacing the gasket. Everything we remove. See that gasket? There's a gasket here. We'll be replacing that too. We have all that parts. So that's one out. Oops. Get that one out. What I like to do is every bolt or nut that I remove, I put it back so I know where it goes. And as long as it doesn't hold anything else. So that one go back there. And the next one I'm going to be removing is this hose here. This is the thermostat housing, I believe. And I'm pretty sure right there, see that? It's a water leaking there. So we have one more here. Remove that, couple bolts and nuts, and that should come out. I'm pretty sure there's a water coming out there. So be careful with that one. Alright, so we have a couple bolts here to remove. And this one really expect to have some coolant coming out. Alright, it's out. Two bolts and one nut on this side right here. And there you go. It's leaking now. A lot. And that's a lot. Okay, now just go slowly pull it out. Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, and then one more. Okay, and then I will be removing one of the ones here. It should come out pretty easy. Not really. Alright, that's the hose there. It's out. Right here. See, that's your thermostat there. Is it the thermostat? Yeah. Yep. Thermostat there. That's a thermostat housing. So make sure you have the gasket in. Already pulled the gasket out. So that's out. What else do we have? There's now a little bit more free here. Let's see. And I can plug this one here. Something arrived so it doesn't drop, um, get dirty. I can go ahead and remove the belt if I want to, or remove all this here one at a time, like what I said. Take it your time. It's getting there. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead remove the belt, and here's your tensioner pulley. We will be using a size 14, and we're going clockwise. Before you do that, make sure you remember how to install the belt back. I might go ahead and take a picture of it real quick. And let's go ahead quick look. Like right here from the passenger side, take a picture there, and then take the picture on this side and the lower side, so you know how is it routing. So you go over here, go around to this pulley, come back down, go down there, and go back up. All right. Oh, good job. Let's go get it real quick. All right, now let's go ahead remove it. So we go clockwise. Oh no, we're going counterclockwise. See that? Once you have that, and everything should come out pretty easy. And here, there we go. So everything's out. And then remove the tension out. There we go. And the belt is out. See how that goes around here. Go down here, and then go to the pulley, tensioner pulley, and go back to the crankshaft. Yes, your grout, and go back down there. All right, that is out. All right, and then now I'm gonna go ahead and remove these water pump pulley. Get the screws out. And that should pull out pretty easy. That's out. Put back the nuts. And the next thing, I think I can remove the, see what else we can remove. Okay, we have some tensioner here. We can remove these and remove these pulleys here. They're all the same. Let's say, what is this, 14? Another one here. Okay, it's out. What else do we have? We have to remove these crankshaft. See that? The crankshaft we have? We gotta remove that. Crankshaft, crankshaft pulley. So go ahead and remove it right here. Don't remember what size is that. Let's go check it out. Okay, let's go ahead and remove the tensioner pulley. Um, put it counterclockwise there. Then see the hole. There will be a, let me see, there. Go ahead with the Allen wrench here, Allen key, and then there we go. And then we can let it go. Then we have an access for this size 14, and in the bottom that, and the one down here. Okay, so the tensioner has another one bolt that is held in the AC compressor. So to access that, let's go remove this starter and then alternator. And here is right here, split size 14. Let's go ahead and remove that to the bracket. Alright, so once you get those two bolts, you just have to pry it out from here. And that should move. If you can see, start moving. Just go ahead, pry it out, and you can go ahead, free it. See that? Start moving there. And if you want, you can go ahead and remove the wires that goes here. There's two bolts here on the side. You see right there. This one, so it will free a lot better. All right, so now we're going to remove the AC compressor. We have to go here on the driver's side, wheel well, and this one, this cover here has clip just like these. I removed them already. So when you lift that up, you'll see the there's one there. That's one. It's 12 millimeter, and if you see the connectors over there behind it, but you can see down here. If you look right by the kind of like an right here by the, what do you call this, steering rack and pinion. There's one there. Let me see. Let me get a good light. Get you a good light. You can access it from here. This truck is here lifted, so you don't have to. So there's one there. There's one there, so you can see. And then there's one more this side, right there. So you can see that. That's one more. And from the top side, behind the connector, you see it. Right. Let me see if I can focus it. right there on top. See that? There's the connector, and there's another bolt there. So that's how you can access that. See that? Yeah, you can access from here and remove that, and then go to the next one. Okay, so that connector, we're gonna remove it. Already, one time unplug it. And you remove that, and behind it is the other bolt. And start disconnecting. There's one bolt there behind it, and there's one down here. It's 4 bolts. All right, so we've got the AC compressor loose, as you can see. Then we can set that aside. I'm gonna go back on top here. So go ahead, come over here. And the tensioner is gonna be loose too, because we already loosened 2 bolts there. And what we're gonna do is just to move this AC compressor right to the side. We'll leave it hanging there, and then we'll be able to access this tensioner. Okay, so with this one, I'm not gonna disconnect the AC line. I'm just gonna like screw this in the side so we have access to move that. Follow this low pressure line, and there's a couple screw bolts here for the bracket. Unhook that one. You know, hook that and go follow more. Unhook this one. So you have some little flex to it so you can move towards passenger driver side. Alright, so I disconnected that one, this one, and let me see. This one, so you can see if I push this here, it will move, scoot that. See that? Then that's all we need. That's all we need. Once that's out, that pin here, right here, see that? Let's push there too, then we can remove the tensioner. The belt tensioner. Let's see. And this can go a little bit forward. And that should come out. Let me use my 2 hands. Alright, so technically I think I don't have to, as long as it's loosened, I have plenty of room to remove this cover here. And we can see the oil leak we have here. Ridiculous. This is the leak that we have. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up real quick, spray it all the way down here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and remove this power steering pump. Not sure if it's in the way, but might as well. So there's a bolt here, behind here, and one down here. So remove those bolts. And then 1, 2, we go through this hole, and it should come out. Alright, we got those 2 bolts out, which is size 14, long and short, long on top, short on the bottom, and then just like wiggle this thing. It should come out. Alright, see that? It's still coming out, and then look at it. Alright, so you can see this hose here is in the way. Even though we remove the bolt here and the nut here, you can barely move it. But that goes to your what is this? Oil filter housing. And there's another bolt here right beside the power steering pump. That bolt here, that one, I'll drop it. When you remove that, that will move. See that? Now you'll be able to like kind of like be careful. You can bend it just a tad bit. Actually, you can remove this bolt, and then see that this hose here, You can move that in the side. That's what we're gonna do right now. Let's go ahead. Try to this is size 10. So don't drop it. I'll drop the last one. So once this is out, let's see. There's the one here that's connected to. So let's see if I can unwind this by hand. I don't think we have to drop the oil filter housing. We'll see throughout the process. Yeah, this one. There you go. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this back here so I don't lose it. Okay. There you go. See this one? Now it's free. I like that. That's free. So we're getting there. So that's free. Um, from this passenger side, I think everything is free. Even this. Um, see that bolt here? This is for dipstick. And for the driver's side, we have the. Let me see. That's your alternator is free right there, and the AC compressor is free. See that? I think I can access, as long as you can access all the bolts around the valve cover, timing chain cover, that's free. And we're gonna remove the crankshaft pulley last. We're still gonna go underneath for the oil pan bolts, and we're gonna remove this. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this valve cover. Go ahead and remove the spark plugs, put them in the cold packs, both sides, so we can just lift this and start from there. All right, guys, we're about to remove the crankshaft pulley, of course the bolt, and this is my setup. I made what's this, 2x6, and made a hole, and we'll see if it works. This is really hard to remove, so let's see if we can get it out from here. Okay, I got my fire bar, my 22 millimeter, and I have a big pipe. do it again. Let's see if I can use a smaller leverage here. Not sure that's gonna reach. But again, let's see if we can tighten it first. Okay, go back. There you go, guys. Finally. That is tight. That is tight, guys. So that's what it took to remove it. Let's go ahead continue removing it. See, it's still tight. Even with that, just gotta be gentle, very gentle, but it's moving. There you go. So let's go ahead and remove it. Alright guys, we're about to remove the crankshaft pulley, of course the bolt, and this is my setup. I made what's this, 2x6, and made a hole, and we'll see if it works. This is really hard to remove, so let's see if we can get it out from here. Alright, I got my fire bar, the 22mm, and I have a big pipe. Do it again. See if I can use a smaller leverage here. Not sure that's gonna reach. But again, see if we can tighten it first. Okay, go back. There you go, guys. Finally. That is tight. That is tight, guys. So that's what it took to remove it. Let's go ahead continue removing it. See, it's still tight. Even with that, just gotta be gentle, very gentle, but it's moving. There you go. Let's go ahead and remove it. Alright, so this is the rig that we did. 2x6 and some remove. Make sure it's tight. Go into that 2 screw bolts that goes in, and then have a hole that a size of your bolt or your socket, a little bit bigger than a socket. Just make sure it's tight when you put it on, so it won't move. I'm removing it now because I just got it loose. We're gonna reuse this again when we torque this back later on. So this is what I use to hold the pulley. I just cut this bigger than your socket, as long as it goes in there, and this size. So what did I use? This doesn't have any size, but and this one, make sure that same size. This is M8 by 1.25. So, and put a washer here so it doesn't go through, and you have to be really tight to use it. So you can see they really mate there pretty good, and that works.